Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to use a template engine with Express. Now there's quite a few template engines. There's Pug, which I'm going to show you now, and Pug used to be called Jade. So when you're looking at documentation or you're looking at for tutorials or anything, Jade is the same as Pug. Alright, there's also EJS, which is embedded JavaScript. There's Mustache, there's handlebars, there's underscore, there's a lot of different template engines you can use. So to use Pug, we're going to install it. So we're going to go to our command line and just stop the server for a second, and let's do npm install Pug, and then we're going to do -- save. So that'll install it and add it to the package.json file. Alright, and then we'll say node app again. And now if we look in node modules, you'll see we have Pug. So now we want to bring it in. So we're going to go right here and say var Pug is equal to require Pug. And then we need to set the view engine. I'm going to go right here and say app.set. We want to set view space engine and set it to Pug. Alright, so we'll save that, and now in our folder structure we want to create a folder called views, and in there we'll say new file and save it as index.pug. Okay, and for now we're just going to put in an h1 space and we'll say welcome. Okay, no tags, just h1 space welcome. Okay, and I'll explain the Pug syntax in a second. Now, instead of in our home page route, instead of res.send, we want to do res.render, and then the name of the template or the view we want to render, which is index, and we'll save that, reload, and now you can see we're loading that view. Alright, now as for syntax, there's a site called html2j.org where you can paste in your standard HTML and get the Pug syntax or the Jade syntax. And if we look at it, basically what we're doing is replacing closing tags for indents. Alright, so if you look over here, we have the doc type and then we have the HTML. And they're on the same level because if you look over here, they're not inside. The HTML is not inside the doc type. That, for instance, here the title is inside the head, so that requires an indent. Okay, see how the script is on the same level as title? That's how it is over here. Alright, now if we look at, let's say, this div right here, these paragraphs are inside of it. So over here you have the div right here, and then you have the paragraphs with one indent over. And you can indent with either a space or a tab. You just have to be consistent, or you'll get an error. If you have some tabs and some spaces, you'll get an error. Alright, so that's the Pug or Jade syntax. Now, it's all preference. I personally would rather work with just regular HTML than have to do this, but some people do really like it. Now, we can bring in dynamic values into our template. So if we go to where we have the render, and we can pass in another parameter, which would be an object. And let's say title, we'll set that to hello world and save it. And now if we go into our index, we have access to that variable. So we should be able to use the number sign and then curly braces with the variable. So if we save that, reload, now we get hello world. Okay, that's coming from right here. So we can send in values. So if we have some kind of ORM where we can talk to a database, we can bring in values from the database and pass them into the view, okay, which is very helpful. We can also do conditionals. So if we were to say, let's pass in show title, and we'll set that to false, save it, and then we'll go in here and we'll say if show title, save that. Let's see, do I have to? Okay, So you can see that it's not showing. If I go and I change that now to true and reload, now it shows. Okay, so we have conditionals that we can use in our templates. We can also use for loops, or I'm sorry, each loops. Okay, so let's say we have people, and we'll just put some names in here. Okay, so we have an array here, and now if we go and we say each people I in people, actually this should be person, and then we should be able to, so we'll say li person, and now you can see we're looping through that array and we're outputting it onto the screen. Alright, so that's Pug. Oh, one more thing I want to show you is that we can have includes as well. So usually your head info, your head and title and stuff like that, you don't want to put that on every single view. So what we could do is create a folder called includes, and let's say a new file, and we'll save this as head.pug, and then in here we could put our doc type HTML head with the title and body. Save that, and then go into our index, and up here say include /head.pug. And then if we go back and reload, you'll see that we have our title. If we look at the source code, we have our header info. Okay, now if you're like me and you don't want to do this and you want just regular HTML syntax, EJS is a really good and easy template engine, so let me just show you how to do that. We're going to first comment this out and also this, and we need to install EJS, so let's go to our command line and we're going to say npm install EJS -- save. Okay, and now we'll just do nodemon again to run our app, and we're going to go, let's see, we're going to copy this app set, and then we're just going to change that to EJS. Alright, now I believe we have to also set the name of the folder here. I don't think it picks up the views folder like Pug does. So to do that, we can say app.set, say views, and then path.join, and then in here we'll do _dir name and then views. Okay, we'll save that, and inside views let's go ahead and create a new file, and we're going to save this as index.ejs, and in here we'll put an h1, we'll say hello from EJS. Okay, and then the rendering is the same. Okay, so we still have the res.render, and the way that we pass in values is still the same. So let's try that, and there we go, hello from EJS. Now if we want to access these values, let's say title, I'm going to get rid of that, and we're going to do less than % equals title and then % greater than. So that's the syntax for EJS. So if we reload this, we get our title hello world. And we can still use our conditionals. So if we go we'll go like that and say if show title. Okay, and then we got to go down here and close it like that. Save that, and let's change the show title to false. And now it doesn't show. Okay, so pretty easy. We can also still do our loops. So let's say we have these people here we want to loop through. So we're going to go people dot for each, and then in here we're going to pass in function, and we'll pass in person. Okay, you always have to end these lines. And in here, let's do li. And then person. And that should work. Save it. Let's see, I think we need the equal sign. There we go. Alright, so it's a little more typing, but I think it's easier. I think the logic, I mean the syntax is a lot more simple. I mean, especially if you're already used to regular HTML. But it's your choice, it's all preference. What I'm going to do now is just implement a little bit of Bootstrap just to make this look a little better. So I'm going to go Bootstrap CDN, and we're going to grab this and put that. We're going to actually create another inside includes. We'll say new file. We'll save as head.ejs, and let's put our HTML. Whoops. Yeah, and then we'll do our head. Title. And let's put that Bootstrap link. Paste that in. And then we also want our opening body tag. And let's use this include in the index file. Alright, and we're going to put a hyphen right here. And then we're going to do include. And in here we're going to pass in the file path from the views folder, so includes/head. Okay, reload, and now you can see that Bootstrap is now loaded, and we have our title. So now what we'll do is let's get a nav bar. So if we go to getbootstrap.com and go to Getting Started, Examples, Starter Template, we're going to do a Control U and grab this nav tag. Okay, we'll paste that. Let's just get rid of all this and put that there. We'll change the project name. We'll just say my website. And let's see, navbar fixed top class, I'm going to get rid of that. And let's see, down in the links here, I'm going to get rid of the class active for one, and then for this we're going to say slash, and for the about page will be /about, contact will be /contact. Alright, so let's go ahead and save that. Reload, and now we have a nav bar. So we do have an about route. Let's go ahead and render that to a new template. So we'll say res.render, and we'll pass in here about. And then let's go to our views folder and create an about.ejs. And let's just put an h1. We'll say about us. And let's just get some dummy text, I guess. Okay, so we'll paste that in. 2 paragraphs. Okay, we'll save that. And let's see. Let's try that out. So if we click About, okay, so we didn't include the head in About, so I'm going to grab this, copy it, like that. Why didn't that work? It doesn't want to include the nav bar for some reason. Did I put it? No, that should work. Oh. Oh, I did. I put it in the index. Let's cut that out. That should actually go in the head, not head pug. All right. There we go. Also in the index, in the head, let's put a div class equals container. Okay, and then we're also going to create a footer in the includes. So we'll say new file, save it as footer.ejs, and we just want to put that ending div here for now. And let's include that in both the index and the about. Okay. Now we have a container. Okay, and let's just copy this stuff here that we have an about and put that in the index. And we'll change this to welcome. And let's just do 1 paragraph on the home page. All right. And then we can do one more. We'll do contact. So let's create inside app.js. We'll copy the about route and we'll say contact, and we'll render contact. And we need to create that file, that view. And let's grab this. And then let's just grab a quick form from Get Bootstrap. So I believe if we go to CSS and then forms, we'll just grab this. And it's not going to be a working form. We just want to just have the UI. So let's see, email address. Get rid of that and that. Okay, and then we'll just put another field. So we'll say form group. Form control. All right, so let's save that. And now if we go contact, we now have a form. All right, so it's not the best looking website, but you can see the functionality. We have our routes, we have our views. Now let's say we wanted a Jumbotron. So if we go to components and then Jumbotron, and we'll grab this. Actually, let's grab this one. And we we probably just want that on the home page. So if we go right above the H1, paste that in, put an H1, and then I'll just grab a little bit of text from here. We'll say P, we'll give it a class of lead, which is a bootstrap class. And save it. I'll just say welcome. And then we'll get rid of this H1. Alright, so I don't want to get too much into just the HTML and the UI, but you can see how we can create routes and we can link up views. Now, in the next video, I want to basically show you how to start to create an API, a JSON API, where clients can make GET requests and POST requests, and they can update data that's stored on a database. Now, as far as databases, you can use just about any type of database. I do want to show you how to use MongoDB, which is a NoSQL database and works really well with Node. So that's what we'll be getting into next.